I never really planned to go on the dark web. It just started as one of those late-night curiosities when everything feels too quiet, and you start wondering what's really hidden behind the internet you think you know. It wasn't for thrill or fear. I only wanted to see what was real beyond all those stories. That evening, rain tapped lightly on my apartment window in Prague, the city glowing dimly outside, and I sat alone with coffee and my laptop. Within minutes, I was scrolling through pages that didn't feel as sinister as I'd imagined. Most of it looked like old markets, simple designs, anonymous usernames, odd listings, and short descriptions. It was messy, unpolished, yet strangely human. People sold strange things there. Antique books, encrypted notes, data dumps, even pieces of history that shouldn't have existed. Then I saw something that caught me completely off guard. A mobile phone listed for almost nothing. Not a flashy ad, just one picture, a short line saying used, works fine, and a price that didn't make sense. It wasn't greed that made me click. It was curiosity. The seller's name was just 3 random letters and a number. No profile picture, no promises, no drama. Against all reason, I ordered it. I told myself it was for research, but deep down, I knew it was that strange human urge to touch what's forbidden, to see if danger really hides behind ordinary things. For days later, the package arrived. Small, brown, and unremarkable. No company label, no address trace, just my name written with shaky handwriting. Inside was the phone, old but clean, smelling faintly of dust and citrus. It turned on easily. Using the code the seller had messaged me, 0412. The screen lit up with a quiet hum, showing a wallpaper of a cat and some basic apps. Everything looked normal until I noticed the Notes app. Empty except for one file titled, Look Close. My chest tightened as I opened it, expecting nonsense. Inside was just one sentence. You are not the first. I froze. Maybe it was a joke. Maybe the previous owner's twisted humor. But then the phone vibrated. One unread message on an app one didn't recognize. The contact's name was simply L. The text read, You have it. We can talk. I locked the screen instantly, my fingers trembling, staring at the reflection of my own face on the black glass. For hours, I told myself not to reply, that this was nothing but a trick or leftover data from the previous owner. But at midnight, curiosity won again. I replied, Who are you? No typing indicator appeared, no read receipt, nothing, just silence. The next day, I checked again. A new message had arrived overnight. The phone was never for sale. Meet me by the river at dusk. My stomach twisted. Every sensible thought screamed no, but something deeper, maybe foolishness, maybe fate, pushed me forward. I went. The air by the river was cold, metallic, the sky dimming like old film. A woman stood there, wrapped in a long coat, face pale under the streetlight. You bought my device, she said softly, accent faintly Eastern European. It wasn't meant to leave the network. I didn't speak. She explained she once worked for a group documenting disappearances, people who vanished after crossing certain digital lines. The phone had recordings, messages, and traces of conversations that were supposed to be erased. Selling it was a mistake made by someone else trying to wipe her trail. She reached into her coat and pulled out an identical phone. They track through connection patterns, she whispered. And if this one activates again, they'll know we met. Her hand trembled as she handed me a small folded note. If it rings, don't answer. Just destroy it. Before I could ask anything, she turned and disappeared into the fog rolling from the river. When I got home, the phone was glowing faintly, the battery icon flickering though it wasn't plugged in. Then, without warning, it rang once, no number, no sound, just vibration. My whole room felt smaller, colder. I didn't answer. I took it to the balcony, placed it on the concrete, and smashed it with a hammer until it stopped buzzing. Inside the broken shell, there was no regular battery, just a thin metal layer, etched with something that looked like coordinates. Sometimes, late at night, I still hear that faint vibration in my drawer where I keep what's left of it. I never tried to find the woman again. I deleted every message, wiped my drives, and swore off curiosity. But deep down, I know some doors, once opened, never truly close. And maybe the dark web isn't about evil or money or danger. It's about connection, and what happens when curiosity finally meets what it's been looking for. If you ever find something online that seems too cheap to be true, remember this. Someone out there might be selling more than just an object. They might be selling a piece of themselves, or worse, a link to something that still watches, still listens, and still remembers every person who dares to look.